Shaykh Abdullaah Rahmatullah alayhi starts to enumerate for us some of the ways in which Yusuf alayhi salam carried out this duty to the king. He says, first is ikhraj, that he had excellent quality of the harvesting the plant, harvesting the food. He said, first of tasbih, his distribution to the people was of excellent quality. So the responsibility now, what do we call this today? We would call this administrating. Call it administrating an affair, making sure that it's done properly, so people's needs can be taken care of. He said, يَتْحَمُّتَ الْعَاجِلُ الْكَامِلِ justice. فهو لما رأى ذلك استخلصه لنفسه جعل مقدما عليه في المحال العالي وجب عليه أيضا نصيحة تام للملك. That when he saw that the king was bringing him, he had to really trust him completely.
Please press the star key to redial the last dialed number, or enter the phone number you wish to reach.
So لم يبقى again more لم يبقى موضع في ديار مصرية من إخصائها.
If you not hear the input, please press the star key to redial the last dialed number, or enter the destination number you were calling.
That was fit for agriculture, except that Yusuf alayhi salam. Remember, he's calling you a king now.
We are having difficulties connecting your call. Please try again later.
He has among his miracles, his ta'wil, the hadith, the dreams, that he tells the king. He tells him that he has to do something for 7 years, do something else for 7 years. Maybe we can take note of this. I'm stretching a little bit here. Could we call this an economic plan? Could we call this an administration of our own economics, that when we get our hands on money, that we be very, very careful how we expenditure it and not waste it? So that when there is a downturn, the downturn can't be used as an excuse for everybody who wants to keep $1 in his pocket that you shouldn't give to Fulan. Many people don't know how to save money, or don't know how to expenditure money correctly. Because we see that suppose when you have money, you spend the money on your necessities. And among our necessities is dawah. Now, our community has to call people just left. It lets them know who we are. It clarifies for them that the people are the right people doing it. It clarifies for people what this is. So no economic downturn should be used as an excuse. So he said that he began to strengthen the agriculture. And so over 7 years, he grew crops for 7 years. ثم حفظه وحفظ ذلك. Here's the ajib. So then Yusuf harvested Islam. He harvested the crops and preserved them in a marvelous way. ثم لما جاءت السنون الجذب اضطر الناس الى اضاع ساعة في كيل من عين. He said that when the years of drought began, the downturn, the time when there won't be any plant, won't be any food, he said people were in need of sustenance. Yusuf took responsibility for weighing the food with justice. What did he do? He grew them abundantly, didn't spend recklessly, held back, and then when people had the need, he didn't want to distribute it to the people what they needed. They had what they needed because they weren't extravagant in their lives. He didn't allow evidence in this wealth. فمنها تجار من شراء طعام خوف من تطيير على المحتاجين وحصل بذلك من المصالح المنافية شيء. And so he said he also prevented the businessmen from buying up all the food, but that it would cause a hardship on the needy. It was in this manner that he achieved benefits that cannot be enumerated or quantified. Many, many benefits. So I'm reading, Shaykh Nabir goes on. So from the knowledge to be learned from the life story of Yusuf, alayhi salam, which is to us in those noble ayat, in the call to Tawheed is something very essential. Furthermore, there is no leniency or relaxation in fighting against shirk. No leniency or relaxation in fighting against shirk. It is not permissible to keep silent about it. Whatever the circumstances of the calling to Allah, whether he be free or whether he be or whether he be in prison, or whether he be of a low position in society, or whether he be of somebody who is considered to be very, very high in society, he cannot keep his mouth closed about shirk. Rather, it's not permissible for any Muslim to ever accept it or be relaxed about it. So this shows the high station of Aqidah and its importance with Allah and with His Prophet and His messengers. It also shows the very great difference and distance between it and the details of Islam. Shirk, the details of Islam. It's not permissible for a Muslim, particularly the caller, to take up any position that violates his Aqidah or is contrary to it. He's not supposed to take any position that's in contradiction with Aqidah. He's not supposed to say happy birthday and y'all. Santa Claus is coming to town. None of that. Valentine's card for his wife, even though she made demands. If he does any of this, then he is one of the misguided mushriks. And he said, those who are mushriks, he said, not Muslim for a Muslim in the corner to take a position which violates his aqidah or is contrary to it, or that he is a fortune teller, those who are mushriks, or that he is a custodian of their idols. If he does any of this, then he is one of the misguided mushriks. In regard to the legislative aspect, if the Islamic State is established, it must apply to the Sharia of Allah. Otherwise, the unbelief, kufr here, and whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then those people are guilty of unbelief. He said the unbelief, the kufr here, is explained in detail by the scholars of Islam, from the companions and others, that it may be major kufr when the person disdains the Sharia of Allah and declares it lawful to judge by something else. And it may be lesser kufr, that which does not take a person out of Islam, when he does not declare it lawful to judge by other than it, but gives in to his desires, and because that, judges by other than what Allah has sent down. However, when the Islamic State has not been established, then Allah does not burden the soul with more than it's capable of. So the Muslim may take up a position in a non-Muslim state with the condition that he establishes just. Shaykh says what? He may take a position with the condition that he remains out just. As Yusuf remained just. Did not steal and weighed the kids properly and gave the people the proper weight and gave general number out to everyone. To everyone he gave it. Al-Islaam. So it's not for people to be responsible for positions and then milk the government, or write bad checks, or bounce checks, or steal from the government money, and be accused of embezzlement. Not for any of us to do those kind of things. And those kind of people cannot be used as our example, or our heroes, or cross our speaking of them as though they did some great thing, when in fact they're guilty of embezzlement and crookedness. That's not for us to do. And we don't stop doing it and support it with our tongue, and perhaps our hearts are still involved in the crookedness. We still think it was clever to be crooked. We still think it was clever to steal. That's not clever. It's criminal. It's not clever. It's criminal. So those of us who are placed in high positions, and we propose that we're going to save society, we need to know something before we can save society. Because it cannot be rectified. Read Sheikh Al-Albani's Al-Islaam and Al-Islaam. Very good heat. Begins with Tawheed. Islah and Al-Islaam cannot begin except with Tawheed. Don't let anybody else tell you anything else except that. No clever plans are going to do it. No clever proposals are going to do it. No finely worded facts. Rhetoric. Rhetoric? Some of the old heads. I have an old head, so I don't feel embarrassed by it. Some of the old heads don't understand this word. You know, dawah by rhetoric, you know what that is? It's not knowledge. What it is finely placed words circling to make some logic in the minds of the people. Finely placed words circle. Allah's word is not ever mentioned. Or the word of the Messenger is not mentioned. But if we do that, then this will happen. And for the people, that will happen. And if we know this has been done because of this, and that will happen. And if you know that will happen, and this will happen because of those things. And when these things happen, then those things will happen. What happened? Nothing. It's called rhetoric. And much of the dawah before was based upon it. Was not based upon knowledge. It was rhetoric. It was rhetoric. Revolutionary rhetoric. We even got to a place now where we're going to sit people down for 90 days and we don't like what you're saying. Like Elijah or somebody. Who would think we are, Elijah? Like Malcolm said something. You sit down, you can't talk for 90 days. Those days are over. Those days are over. We don't sit people down because we got pleased with what they say and what they say is true. Truth is going to be for us, or it's going to be against us. For us, or against us. However, the Islamic State, so Shaykh goes on, you have to establish justice, and does not judge by, and do not judge by other than what Allah set down. This is what the Prophet of Allah, Yusuf, did. He took up the position as a deputy for an unbelieving king. He did not judge according to the king's law. And you know, many of the laws that are here today, I'm stretching some, but the law not to commit burglary, that's the law in Islam. The law not to murder, that's the law in Islam. The law not to run over life, hit people with your cars and cause general endangerment in society, that's a rule in Islam. That's the rule of Islam. Furthermore, you establish justice between the subjects and call them to the Tawheed of Allah. So this contains a decisive reply to those who give little importance to the Aqidah of Tawheed. Those who are currently saying that we've been looking so long now, our Aqidah is tight, and we don't have to study Aqidah. Let's move on to some more important issues. These kinds of people. They said for those who give little importance to Aqidah, those who gloss over and accommodate when it comes to shirk, which has filled the world, they gloss over that. That's okay. And they regard the callers to Tawheed as the enemies of shirk with contempt and scorn. The people who regard the callers against shirk, they regard them with contempt and scorn. They turn up their noses and are too proud to lower themselves to the level of the callers to Tawheed. And they are very wily and astute concerning political affairs. But nothing is more burdensome and disagreeable to their hearing and their heart than listening to or saying a word regarding Tawheed or shirk. And you can tell that by the numbers of people who sit in the classes of Tawheed and Aqidah when they're being taught. These types of callers have caused themselves to fall into deep abyss, a hole, which they think they have reached the highest peaks. They have reached the highest, really what they've done is fall into a hole by disregarding the Aqidah of Allah, but it's being taught. Can a people ever prosper who stand regarding the calls of the prophets like this, unless they consider repent lost from what they are upon? Shaykh asked the question. How can anybody be successful unless they consider repent from an attitude like that? Disdain for the cause of Tawheed and high regard for the leadership.